Hi guys, Baby Mitchie here. I wanted to talk about an episode of South Park. I know, isn't that weird? And I'm not going to be showing all kinds of clips or anything crazy like that. It's not going to be one of those comedy videos where we're all making jokes. This is actually a serious video. I'm serious today. This is serious Mitchie. I want to talk about the Yaoi, if I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know. Episode of South Park, um, which is a form of art uh, apparently created by Japanese women. And while I'm on the subject of Japanese, I just want to, by the way, say I love Japanese culture. Of all the places that I want to go, like a dream place to visit would be Japan. So if there's any fans out there, I just wanted to put that out there that one day I would love to visit Japan. And I would like to actually learn the language prior, which I have no experience right now. At least to have a rudimentary ability to speak Japanese. I just love the culture. Like there's a lot going on in Japanese that I'm like I'm totally on board with. The hentai. I didn't say that, did I? Oh God, I meant to say the anime. I was not trying to say that. I was trying to say the anime. I don't like. Oh man, the hentai. Now I'm just picturing roots of lust. Oh God. Oh, don't make me start about LA Blue Girl. Man, I'm gonna have to edit the hell out of this. But I love the Japanese culture though. It's all the whole concept of honor and actually you're supposed to be the karaoke obsession. Like there's karaoke bars all over the place. We just don't have that here. In the USA, we don't have that. But I would love to actually visit and be like very respectful, learn things, see things. I'd love to go to a cat island. So yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of touristy stuff, obviously, if I visit. But if there's any fans out there that want to help me out, give me some tips or pointers. I do need to learn Japanese to a point, and I don't know anything. I mean, I can say domo arigato, and that's about it, sadly. And I do wonder that if I went guys, this is a good question right now. If I would go to a karaoke bar in Japan, first of all, I probably wouldn't understand what I'm reading, but whatever. If I would sing, and if it was like more of a public one, not a private room one, if I sang Styx, Mr. Roboto, which I love that song, and if you haven't watched it, it's on my channel. I messed up a little bit in the song, but overall, it's a pretty solid performance of Mr. Roboto. Is that offensive? Is that offensive if I would sing that? I mean, I'm legit asking because I would not want to go and have people be like, I cannot believe he's singing the song, blah, 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 blah. I would want people to be like, all right, he's singing Mr. Roboto. I mean, because Japanese culture and the anime, and it's always about like robots and robot bodies. Galaxy Express 999. I actually like the older animes. So when I say anime, I'm not meaning like cutesy pootsy girl animes and all that. I'm talking about like, you know, Vampire Hunter D and Akira and like I said, Galaxy Express 999. You'll have to look it up because you probably are looking at me like Galaxy Express 999. What the crap is that? You can watch the whole thing on YouTube. Shh. But the idea to me, the coolest thing is like the robotic body, but it's a person. I love that kind of stuff. Of course, there's also Sword Art Online, where you get put into the game. Oh man, like dot hack, like I love it. I love that stuff. I can nerd out the crap of that stuff. And of course, there's games. Kingdom Hearts 3 just came out. I'm actually gonna do a video on that, but let me tell you, I went into it with high expectations and came out a little disappointed. Yeah. So, anyways, let's get back on topic. I wanted to talk about the Yaoi episode of South Park. So it's a form of art that it depicts at least the ones that I'm seeing all seem to be gay couples, boys. So and I say boys because they're not men yet. Like usually they're like of a younger age, like high school age or just above that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like old men like me. You guys probably look at me. I bet there's people that look at me and think, he's a young guy. I'm not young. I'm old. I'm old. And to be fair, the images that they would show are um, people that are too young for me. I'm looking at it like this. Yeah, they're too young for me. You know what I mean? But it just made me think about things, and this is what I wanted to get to. I'm looking at this art, and I'm like thinking, man, I love this. Like I'm seeing this, like they're holding each other and stuff, and like that kind of stuff, the cuddling. You can all the people in South Park are basically obsessed with the pictures. Then they're looking at them and they're all getting warm and fuzzy and lovey inside, and it kind of like really. I mean, I felt it too. You know what I mean? I'm looking at these pictures, and I'm just like, "Aw," you know. And I'm thinking, it's just funny how that works. And I'm thinking in my head like I'm starting to you start to question certain things, and I want to help people out that are questioning like, are you gay? Are you bisexual? Are you this or are you that? Because I was raised, by parents that have the old ways, so to say, the old ways of living, in which the when it comes to like homosexual stuff, they were like, oh, it's got those weirdos, and it was very shunned. So I lived a life growing up as a kid where being gay was wacko. It was weird. That was strange, and it never really was much of an option to even consider same-sex things. And I don't want you to put yourself in that scenario. It's gonna be it's very likely gonna be forced on you. A lot of parents are gonna do that, and they want you to leave a normal life. And it's true that it can be difficult being different. I mean diapers, haha. But it can be difficult being different and being sexually attracted to the same sex. Okay, this applies to men or women, and don't let it get to you. Don't. You need to try to take time. Take your time. Take your time. Don't rush, but don't hold yourself back. Okay. Always be safe. Okay. Number one, yes, of course, always be safe. Don't go out there willy nilly. But you need to be yourself, and you need to figure out who that is, especially if you're a young person. Don't don't let do not let do not let anyone define you. You need to define you. You need to be the one that says, I really like this. I really like that. You need to be that person. Because I'm here now, old, and I'm looking and I'm like, man, I wish when I was younger that I could have found something like this and had more exploring and stuff. I regret how everything was shoved at us like you can't have sex and you have to get married and you got to be safe. And yes, you do have to be safe, but it was so put on us that if you had sex, you would have a baby and you'd get diseases that it was like you can't even have sex. Period. It was like, oh, we better wear double condoms. Like, all right, you better wear a female condom and I'll wear a condom and we'll all take medicine and do you have your proper documentation? And okay, good. I'm not saying you shouldn't be safe. I'm just saying it was so excessive, just shoved into our heads in the 90s growing up as kids, that it was just, you can't have it. And if you're going to have it, you're going to have, it's all these bad things are going to happen. It was extreme. To put it simply, it was extreme. So, don't let that happen to you, okay? Just don't. And my point of it is going back to the episode and looking at the images. I like to think that anyone with an open mind can look at like the ones where they're cuddling and stuff and think, oh, that's cute, that's love, and that's what it comes down to for me. Like, I don't care if you're a boy or a girl, man, woman, that doesn't matter to me. It never mattered to me. But I grew up in an era where being with the same sex was kind of like there was nobody. It wasn't, as to my knowledge, anyways. So it was kind of like an option was like not there, and it makes me sad because I'm looking at the pictures now. I could see myself in the pictures. You know what I mean? I'm plopping myself there. I'm thinking, well, that would be me. I mean, I consider myself a switch, meaning I could be dominant, submissive, or whatever. But I could just see myself in a position where, I'm the one of these characters, and I'm just thinking it's pretty nice. I'm thinking this is cool. I gotta say, I'm like, oh yeah, like that kind of thing. So if that's you, if that's you, it's okay. You gotta be you. Don't worry about all that crap that people are shoving at us. And it's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, the world's getting a lot better, but it's not perfect, and it's never going to be. But don't let that get you. Don't let that push you down. Please don't. You'll regret it later. You will. Trust me. You will regret it. And you don't want to have regrets. You don't want to have regrets in your life. I mean, you're going to have regrets, but this is one you can avoid. So do that. And again, it's about love for me. People are different. Some people like to go have a good time. Okay? As long as you're safe as possibly can be, and you have to be really careful, please. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with being a person who wants to go out and is like, hey, yeah, and you want to go do that. I get it. All right, fine. That's for you. That's not for me. That's not how I work. And it's okay for you to be that way. I'm just saying it is. But for me, there has to be love there. And I could just see this alternate timeline of my life where I'm a young teen or whatever, growing up, 18. I'm not talking about underage things here again. By the way, guys, don't be thinking anything weird is going on, because there isn't. All right, you make me mad. I could just see myself going through that and going out roller skating with a friend and maybe rollerblading, go skateboarding and stuff like, and a same sex, for instance, and playing video games together, and I could just see it. Like where you develop a really close relationship with them, and I could just picture one day like this. Yes, of course, fantasy. I could see that person like kind of like just touching you a little bit, and it kind of makes you feel something, and you're like, oh, and I could see like the picture in my mind, just like I'm looking at this Yaoi or whatever stuff. I could just see that where, somebody just kind of comes around and gives you a hug, and then you're just kind of like, and you kind of blush, and you're just like, wow. And then, magic happens, so to say. Um, it just, I could see it. Don't let yourself not see things. Don't blind yourself. You need to keep yourself open. If it's not what you want, it's not what you want. You can't force things. But don't close that door, because you're going to regret it later in life. And that's the number one thing that I wanted to say in this episode, this little video, this little clip. And I think it was a really good South Park episode, honestly. The two guys weren't really gay, but they wound up just pretending to be gay because life sucked for them when it was bad. You'd have to watch the episode. So if you have access to any kind of a streaming thing, and you can watch the Yaoi episode of South Park. It was a 2015 episode, a really cool episode, and the art's really cool. So check it out sometime. I'm not always an advocate for South Park. I'm not like, oh my god, I'm South Park obsessed, because I'm not. But I've been watching a couple of episodes every now and then. Every now and then they key into some really cool topics like this one, and I was just kind of like, just made me think. So remember what I said. Be yourself. Don't worry about what other people think, and don't close all these doors, thinking that like it'll be okay. Like you can get over it. You don't. You don't need this. You don't need this. Leave the doors open. See what happens. So that's about it. Stay safe. Mitchie out. Love it. I say a lot. Oh, please don't start that. I'm just gonna beat myself up. It's been a while since I made videos, so I don't have a really good focus apparently. I'm all over the place. Deleted.